Almost 900 miles to the northwest, the Dow team is at the site of last season's single most devastating tornado.
We're driving into Greensburg, which was hit by an EF-5 tornado, a huge, violent tornado last year, which pretty much destroyed the town.
Total and utter devastation. That's how the situation is being described tonight in Greensburg, Kansas.
Striking just after dark, the mile-wide tornado tore through town with 205-mile-an-hour winds.
That tornado was so wide, the left and right side of that tornado would not fit into the viewfinder of the camera. It was so wide that all you saw was black.
11 people were killed, and 95% of the town was completely destroyed.
Shortly after the tornado hit, we took our teams into Greensburg and did a very detailed damage survey. What we're looking for is just how buildings are destroyed and to what extent they're destroyed.
1 year later, they're here to do a follow-up survey. It's a sobering reminder why they chase.
We've got the new water tower. You just realize when you come back here that it's going to take longer than a year. I mean,
Much longer.
10 years. It's one thing to chase tornadoes where you're trying to film them because they're powerful, they're beautiful, and then it's another thing to see, what they can do.
When we first came into town, the amount of destruction was really surprising. I had never seen anything of that scale.
75% of the buildings in Greensburg completely destroyed.
Herb Stein, the Dow's driver for over a decade, visits a survivor he met just moments after last year's catastrophe.
Hello.
Sponigal.
That's me.
I don't know if you remember me.
I'm wearing the same things I had on when I crawled out of that junk pile.
Yeah, I remember you said you took shelter in the bathtub.
Yes.
At the last minute.
When did you get into the bathtub? Like, at what point?
I looked out the living room window and I could see the front of it. And I run back in, got in the bathtub, got some towels and put over my head, and just a few seconds later, the whole house come down on top of me. Boom, and the whole town's gone. You don't look nowhere that you don't see something that you lost in the tornado. Anything you look at, and you realize that you have to start over.
If you get stuck in a moderate to strong tornado, your IMAX film, if it captures those kind of objects moving around, would really provide some of the first quantitative measurements of how fast building debris is moving in the lowest 10, 20 feet. We could just look frame by frame and see a cinder block flying by. That would be quite useful for people trying to design hardened rooms. Just how fast an impact does it have to survive? By understanding how big this tornado was and just how strong the winds are, we hope we can provide some guidance to engineers, architects who are building the next generation of buildings. If we can build better buildings, we can reduce the deaths.